Hey, what's up everybody? Chris here. Today we're going to be talking about 7 different verbs that we can use to discuss things that happen at work. Number 1 is to be swamped. When you're swamped, it just means that you have a ton of work, so much work that you just have no idea when you're going to be finished with all of it. This is an interesting word because of the imagery that comes into your mind when you think of it. The word swamp is the word that we use to describe a place, a very watery place full of mud and mosquitoes and flies and I don't know if it's crocodiles or alligators that are in swamps. I guess it depends on what swamp you're in, but it's definitely not a place that you would want to be. So whenever a person says that they're swamped, that's the thing that comes into my mind. They're just surrounded by all of this work that they have to do, and it's hard for them to get through it because they get stuck easily. Here are some examples. I know you've been super swamped since you started doing hair for celebrities, but do you think you could fit me in for an appointment this afternoon? I really need something done to this. Oh, you want to go on a date tonight? Oh, I'm just so swamped with work. I'm not available. Maybe never. Hey, I wouldn't expect to get my package on time if I were you. Amazon has been super swamped ever since the pandemic started. Our next word is to chime in. When you chime in, it basically means that you interrupt a conversation to make some kind of contribution. Maybe you're making a comment or asking a question or giving an opinion or something like that. The expression to chime in does not have a negative connotation, although if you do it all the time, you're totally gonna annoy the hell out of me. I hate it when people are just chiming in like constantly. I hate that. Although at the same time, chiming in kind of gives people a better idea that you're interested in what they're talking about. Here are a few examples. It's very rare for the CEO to chime in during a meeting. She must have really liked your idea. Excuse me, I'm speaking. Okay? This is the 10th time you've interrupted me while I was doing my presentation. Should I just be quiet and let you do it yourself, or are you gonna let me do my job? Brian, we'd love to hear more from you about this topic. It's just, we never hear you chime in about the stuff that we're talking about, so we never know if you're interested. Over the next few minutes, I'll be discussing our sales plan for this year. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to chime in. Hey, just a quick reminder, if you are interested in taking group conversation or group pronunciation classes, please send me an email. My email address is languagewithchris@gmail.com. The next verb is to get back to someone. When you get back to someone, it basically means that you respond to them at a later time. So let's imagine that you ask me a question and maybe I don't have the answer for it, or I don't have enough time to give you the full answer, or I just don't have the energy. Maybe I just don't want to talk to you. Who knows? But I would probably tell you, I will get back to you. Does it take you a long time to get back to people? Here's some examples. How do you find the time to get back to all these people so quickly? Are you a robot? Yes, well, I put my application in at NASA, but, they haven't gotten back to me yet, but I expect to hear from them soon. Okay, great. Thank you so much for giving us your resume. We will get back to you as soon as we can. Next up is to work on something. When you work on something, it means that you spend time developing or producing or improving something. Now be careful, a lot of my students say that they are working in a project, but here, this is where we would say that you're working on a project. Here are some examples. What did my previous employer say about my employment? Well, of course nothing but good things, except for the fact that maybe I need to work on my attendance, since I only showed up once. I guess if I could only teach one topic for the rest of my life, it would definitely be pronunciation. That is the most rewarding thing when you go into a classroom and someone is pronouncing something one way and then they are pronouncing it a different way after you're done. It's just so transformative. It's an amazing feeling. Alright, so it looks like there are just a few things that you need to work on before we can hire you. Please just put your resume with the rest of them. Thanks. You know what? It's people like you that remind me that I really need to start working on my patience. Thanks for the reminder. Next, we have to run late. When you run late, it basically means that you are behind schedule. You're not on time for something. Here are a few examples. Wow, what a surprise, you're running late again. How hard is it to wake up before 1 p.m.? Really, just explain that for me. Hey, there's no problem if you're running late. Just send me a text message just so that I don't worry. Right, okay, so the doctor's running a little bit late, so is there any way that you can reschedule? Oh, okay, ma'am, there's no need to be rude. You can have your baby at some other hospital because we don't do that here. Next up, we have to burn out. When somebody burns out, it means that they are totally exhausted or tired or even sick because they've been working so hard and so consecutively over the past days, months, weeks, years. Here's some examples. Yeah, I'm not exactly employed right now, but I'm just trying to make sure that I don't burn out. Having more than 1 day of work per week was a little bit too much for me. Look, I know it's possible for you to have 3 jobs at the same time, but is it necessary? I really just don't want you to burn out. My boss said that he doesn't want us to work more than 40 hours because he doesn't want us to burn out, but truthfully, I think it's because he's cheap and he doesn't want to pay us for our time. Finally, we've got to wing something. When you wing something, it basically means that you do something without a plan. You can put an object after the word wing, like you can wing a presentation, you can wing a speech, you can wing a performance, but it's most often used just with the pronoun it. You wing it. Here's some examples. Look, it's your first day on the job. Who cares if you wing it? It's not brain surgery. Oh, it is brain surgery. Okay, well, maybe you should not do that then. I don't remember you cursing at the director during the rehearsal. Was that in the script or were you winging it? Hey, look, this IELTS exam is no joke. You can't just go in there and wing it. You really need to prepare and practice and work with a teacher if you can. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. Remember, leave some love, leave a few comments, and let me know which phrasal verb or which expression was your favorite. I'll be back next week with another video. Bye!